Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shot.
I'm afraid I'm stuck in my ways, and that's the way it stays. So how long did I expect love to outweigh ignorance? How that look on your face, I may have forced the scale to tell. I'm not insane, I'm not insane. I'm not insane, I'm not insane. Come back to me, it's almost easy. Come back again, it's almost easy. Shame pulses through my heart from the things I've done to you. It's hard to face, but the fact remains that this is nothing now. I left you bound in time with suicidal memories. Selfish beneath the skin, but deep inside I'm not insane.
Outside the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence, this is KJ and Ghosty for Jose's Taco Truck. Hey Ghosty, how you doing?
I'm good.
So we're gonna start the show off with something you haven't seen before. You guys excited? About to blow your mind.
It's gonna be good.
All right. I wish I had some, like that SpongeBob song, like bum ba-da-dum-bum-bum-bum, ba-da-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. All right, here we go. Oh, really? There we are. Hey, everybody. I'm KJ. This is my office. And I wanted to formally welcome you to the Taco Truck. And this is the platform where I do all my gaming and all of my broadcasting and all of that jazz. And I just wanted to say, hey, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. All that. I know, I'm regrowing the beard. It used to be long and luscious. No, not finally got a cam. Just, I'm not computer savvy, D-Max. You gotta cut me some slack here. And for those, the flavor of the day is Copenhagen Mints. Yes, indubiously. So, how was your Wednesday, Ghosty?
Not bad. Just
bad.
been preparing for my our gaming stuff coming up on Monday. So
Awesome. What's been going on with your team getting ready to rock it in Brazil, which I know they're going to win their qualifiers?
well, because of the time zone difference, I've been staying up really late, and I mean like till 5 in the morning, watching VODs of the other team and coming up with strategies. So we're just getting ready for them and doing what we usually do, and then if we beat them on Monday, we go to Brazil. So be good stuff.
Hell yeah. I'm so. Is it going to be in Rio or is it going to be in?
I think it is going to be in Rio.
Sweet. I'm actually. I love Rio. Like I said Tuesday, just don't turn left and go to the favelas. Turn right, go to the beaches. You don't want to have that mix up, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, why are my organs being harvested?"
Yeah, well, I'm like the smallest little white girl, so I'm just gonna hide in the middle of all of you guys on the way there. So
Protect me, big guys.
yeah.
From now on, we're referring to smallest white girl as pocket sized.
I just refer to myself as a hobbit. So
Fills hobbitals.
yep.
So I joined that milsim.
Oh, that again.
Oh God, yes. So last night I'm playing. I'm just playing around, dicking around. We're in a chat room, and there's this one guy. He's the CEO of the milsim, and never does not have any military experience, but has has a Leo experience, so
Okay.
I can give him some slack. But as we're talking, and every now and then you hear, well, they just don't use that in the army.
But how would you know if you didn't serve?
And it isn't him. Now the CEO,
Oh, okay.
the CEO is fucking like just that quiet, like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and sip on my scotch while I play. I'm the guy that's like, I'm gonna sit there and just spit while I play. The other guys are, oh my god, they don't use 240 Limas in the army or 240 Golfs or fucking the M4A1 hasn't made it to big army yet. And yes, my spastic hands, I know. How many gigs for the sim so I can make room? Oh, next to nothing, D-Max. We'll talk later about it, bro. But I'm sitting there like, yeah, we use M4A1s. Well, at least, they don't give fresh privates out of basic and ACOG. I mean, I got out of basic, I got an ACOG on my M4. Well, at least they don't put you on the machine gun right away. So, now it's turning into a, oh my god, we have a new guy. Who's he gonna play with? And oh my god, he's prior service. Shoot me, but I love them. They're a bunch of adorable people. They want me They want me to make a map, for them to do, because they do training. They want me to make a map of Grafenwohr, Germany, because apparently that's where the 173rd jumps and does some training. So, well, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that. And I'm sitting there going, oh god, why?
Well, did you know that for Arma 3, the map that's based off of the island in Greece, the developers who were they went there and they were studying the entire island. That Italy, or no, it was Italy, my bad. They actually thought that they were spies, so they threw them in jail for a few years. Which is nutty.
That sounds awesome.
Except for the people who got thrown in jail, sounds kind of shitty.
That sounds awesome. I would be that guy that would be sitting there and be like, so this is Greek jail. I'm gonna have some fun with it. Hey, where's my gyros? Hey, where's the lamb? Really just go full American. I came to see the Pantheon. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think if you did stuff like that, they'd probably just try to get rid of you. Like, just, it's not worth it having them in here. Just get them out.
My luck, I get tased through the cell. I have to say, though, it's and I'll get you that mod list, D-Max. It's hilarious because I as I'm playing more, I'm a huge shooter nerd, and as I'm playing Arma 3, all of my nerdy what I wish I could have done in the army is coming true, and by that I mean, like, they're giving a mission brief, and I'm sitting out there with a metal detector pretending to take selfies.
Nice.
Or they're flying a Chinook that I'm not supposed to be flying.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And it's, oh my god, prior service. I'm getting away with blue bloody murder.
Yeah, I really liked flying the helicopters on Arma 3. It's pretty fun.
I'm addicted to Arma. That and PUBG.
I can actually fly them on advanced mode with a keyboard and mouse.
Okay, calm down. Roger that, professional player. Hoo-ah.
So people are like, how are you doing that? Like, just when I started playing the game, I didn't know that you could do it any other way. So that's just how I do it. So I can't. I tried using a joystick and I kept crashing. I was like, nope, I gotta use my keyboard and my mouse.
Yes, that is my the X52 stick throttles. Oh god, here we go. D-Max, you're one of those hoo-up pilots. It's like, gonna hold on the G-forces. Love you, D-Max. Oh god, I make some really weird faces when I'm talking. Oh, so In other gaming news, has anyone played Shadows of War yet?
No. I
Okay.
don't even know which platform that is. That
All of
Steam
them.
or Origin
All of
or
them. Steam. It's Steam. It's Xbox and PS4. And oh my God, Shadows of War! I can live out my Lord of the Rings dreams. Have an army of orcs. An
No, I haven't
orc
played it
army.
yet.
Shame on you. You need to play it. You need to play
I
it.
should. Did you know that the PvP for Ghost Recon Wildlands came out?
Yes, yeah, I announced it Tuesday, and I promptly went in and I got killed by someone who immediately said in a PM to me through Uplay, haha, KJ, you suck, go die, I'll keep killing you for the rest of the game.
Did they?
I'm coming for you, motherfucker. I got your name, I got your Uplay, I'm gonna get you. Eventually. Cheater with a goddamn 50 cal for a sniper rifle.
Oh yeah, those people.
Yeah. Which leads me to the oh god, yes, I love Lord of the Rings. Oh my god.
You know what I did though? I flew around the helicopter, and then when I saw people in open fields, I squished them with it, like I like love tapped them with the belly of the helicopter, and just kept flying.
Oh my god, yes. I love helicopters. I love helicopters in games because they don't work how they're supposed to work in real life, and that's what I love. It's like that college humor, or I know cracked video of like why planes work. It's like we don't have an answer for it. That's exactly how planes and helicopters work in video games. You have no clue how the fuck it works. It just happens to float in midair, and life is good. Favorite character from Lord of the Rings, Mark? It depends. Are we talking the Hobbit trilogy? Are we talking, well, the Hobbit? Are we talking Lord of the Rings? Are we talking Silmarillion? Are we talking Book of Lost Tales, volumes 1 and 2? What are we talking about here? Because I can go on days and days of Lord of the Rings. That Lord of the Rings to me is like Star Wars to Boss Man.
I think for me, my favorite would probably have to be Gandalf.
You must take the ring to Mordor, Frodo, and throw it in the fires of Mount Doom. Okay, to say how nerdy about Lord of the Rings I am, I didn't want to learn just Elvish. I wanted to learn Elvish, Orc, East Marchian. I wanted to learn it all. I know that whole song that Pippin sings from Lord of the Rings: Return of the King by heart.
Nice.
I'm such a like that. That is my kryptonite. All of it. Yeah. No, I am not singing it either, Mark. No, my voice isn't that good. Years of yelling at 13-year-olds on Call of Duty. My opinion on the story of the new game. I haven't played any of the story. I've just been more concerned with building my army. I just take over everybody. Honestly, I like how the Shadows of series, they definitely there we go. Sorry. I was getting feedback from my gaming headset. They definitely tie directly into the Lord of the Rings universe, and that's what I think is great, is they found a way to incorporate it and include it and make it feel like it belongs there. You know what I'm saying? Gonna go over and check Mixer chat real quick. What is going on, Crisp? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would not say anything racy or sexy if you're gonna cuss, Crisp. That's okay. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Mixer rules. I don't use Mixer. I'm a Twitch guy. And even then, just don't cuss. There you go. Don't cuss. Don't cuss in Mixer chat. I love. Mark says, "I love how they made Mordor more detailed instead of making it plain like it was." Well, Frodo and Sam only went across. They only went across Gorgoroth. Yeah, they went from Minas Morgul to Gorgoroth. Yeah, Minas Morgul, Shelob Slayer, Golgoroth to Mount Doom. Yeah. So it's a very desolate wasteland. Whereas if you go to Nirn or if you go to any of the other parts of Mordor, it's a beautiful country. It's just everything's there to kill you. You know. I don't know. Negative D-Max, bad D-Max. Oh God. You are not Barney Stinson. Oh. Barney Stinson, How I Met Your Mother.
Mhm.
You seen that show, Ghosty?
I love that show.
Oh my God, I cried like a bitch all through season 9.
Yeah, that show. But if you watch it from like the beginning, like my family did, you get wrapped up in it pretty hard.
Like, I just...
I used to watch Bones with my brother.
I never watched Bones.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
Everyone is sitting there telling me I should, but I'm like, eh.
No, Bones is good. The first couple seasons are a little bit because they're new. They were like it was new at the time, but like season 3 and up it's awesome. It is a really good show. Because I felt that way about it, and my brother was like, "Hey, just watch this with me," and then I watched a couple episodes, and then on Netflix, and then I just binge watched it, and up to the point that he was at.
Yeah. I don't know. Bones really isn't my cup of tea. Oh God. Speaking of which,
Well, you have to at least watch it just to see if it's your cup of tea, though. Can't say it's not your cup of tea if you haven't watched it.
I mean, I've watched an episode or 3, and I'm like, it's okay. She's a quirky this. He's a hard-headed this. Yeah, let me guess. They get married. She eventually gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by one of their arch enemies, who got wronged in some way, and then the arch enemy becomes an ally, who then dies by the end of the episode. You know, fucking.
Nope. Not even close.
I don't fucking know. It's not my
And
cup of tea.
and she holds her own quite a bit, and like there's an instance where I don't know, like the government tries to take out Booth, and they like send a team over to the house. I guess they stupidly started just like shooting at or shot the window, and she actually killed quite a few of them. So
Jesus.
it's a good show. I'm telling you, watch it. I'll find like a really good episode to get you sucked into it. That's what I'll do.
Oh God, you and my wife are gonna be the enemy with TV. Like my wife.
That's how you get people that you like to watch the show that you like to watch. You have to pick you have to be tactical and pick an episode that you know will suck them in.
Okay,
Oops.
Doctor Who Blink. By the way, nice ringtone. I'm grooving here. Let that jam. Let that ringtone jam. I'm sitting here, grooving like
No, that's my boyfriend's phone.
That's your Well, then yell at him and stuff.
Wait, you'd like his the ringtone for his text messages? It's R2D2.
But anyway, have you watched Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
Has anyone else watched Lethal Weapon? Oh God, I love Lethal Weapon. See, Riggs is what I would become if I lost my wife. Oh, cool, D-Max. You got a friend that's in the new show SWAT? Hell yeah. I'll be sure to watch that out. Watch that when it comes out. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, like definitely link it and then tell us who he is.
Yeah,
Which character.
D-Max and I are trading info later. We're gonna be besties of BFFs and besties and stuff. So we're gonna we're gonna be like, oh my God. But hey, video games, pop culture, all that jazz. So he wants to talk about communism.
Let's talk about communism after video games and TV shows.
Yeah.
Let me pull that one up.
Oh yeah, I'm just. What was your MOS when you were in service? Who, Mark? Who are you talking to, Mark? Me, D-Max,
Ghosty,
Jose. I'm anxiously waiting your response, Mark. I'll hit it up in a minute. So, communism. So, a former West Point professor's letter exposes corruption, cheating, and the failing standards at West Point. And he wrote this after the recent media coverage of Second Lieutenant Spencer Rapone, the West Point graduate and the infantry officer who recently came under fire for his public advocacy and support of socialism and communism, and being an official socialist organizer. Now, we're going to get to West Point in just a minute. But this Second Lieutenant Rapone, and I'm trying to find where it said that. All right, he's an infantry officer over 10th Mountain Division. He has deployed to Afghanistan, and he has received his combat infantryman badge. Who the fuck cares if he's a communist? In that case, in his private life, who cares? Who the fuck cares?
In his private life.
Yeah, in his private life.
And we'll get to the part where
We're not talking about uniform. We're talking about in his private life.
Yeah, we'll get to that part.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he made the no-no.
Yeah.
But
it's no person can come out and tell me 110% that he's 100% Democrat or 100% Republican or liberal or conservative. There are very few people that fall into those extremes. That's why they're called extremists. But D-Max brings up a good point. I care less. Is he a good leader of his troops in combat? That's what I want to know, and that's what I want to find out. I want to find out if he is a good leader, if he's concerned about his Joes and just wants to make sure they get home safe. That's what matters to me. Now, the jackassery of the Che Guevara and the communism will win bullshit, that is completely inappropriate, and you shouldn't be doing that in uniform. That is the, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, Ghosty. The complete backwards way to preach your message.
yeah, I know what you mean. There's a way to go about it, and that was not the way to go about it. But I get, I don't know. I think it was like an arrogant, douchey kind of a thing. From what I saw, but
yeah, it was a attention grabbing. Hey, look at me. But
yeah,
when you're in uniform, you're not supposed to have political advertisement, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm. Or you can't go to rallies in your uniform.
Yeah, like that shitbag specialist I keep thinking about from that Angry Cops featured. You don't listen. Your private politics, your private beliefs, no one's gonna fuck with. It's when you bring your private, especially in the Army, no one's gonna fuck with you at home if you personally believe the flying spaghetti monster is every night, slobbing on your knob, no one's gonna fuck with you there. It's when you start bringing that bullshit into your workplace, into your army, that's where you're gonna have that problem. That's when you're gonna have the what the fuck did you just do? But even further, the dude, the LT is deployed. He's got a CIB. Right then there, I'm a little proud for him. Good job, man. You're fucking in Afghanistan. You've whatever it be it mortar or, small arms or, you fucking charged a Dishka. Whatever. Good for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't post stupid shit on fucking Instagram about communism will win while you're in the long gray line. That's fucking retarded. That's just asking for trouble. I have to say though that it's this professor from West Point that wrote this letter though does make me worried, because he's teaching, he's watching all of his students grow from the freshman year all the way up to the senior year and graduation and becoming officers, and it's really distressing what he's saying. I'm going to read it in its entirety real quick. So the following is Professor Heffington's letter in its entirety. So, dear sir, ma'am, before you read any further, please understand that the following paragraphs come from a place of intense devotion and loyalty to West Point. My experience as a cadet had a profound impact upon who I am and upon the course of my life, and I remain forever grateful that I have the opportunity to be a part of the long gray line. I firmly believe West Point is a national treasure, and that it can and should remain a vitally important source of well-trained, disciplined, highly educated Army officers and civilian leaders. However, during my time on the West Point faculty, 2006 to 2009, and again in 13 of 17, I personally witnessed a series of fundamental changes at West Point that have eroded it to the point where I question whether the institution should even remain open. He talks about the recent coverage of Second Lieutenant Spencer Rapone, an avowed communist, and dramatically highlighted this disturbing trend. Given my recent tenure in the West Point faculty and my direct interactions with Rapone, his mentors, and with the Academy leadership, I believe I can shed light on how someone like Rapone could possibly graduate. First and foremost, standards at West Point are non-existent. They exist on paper but nowhere else. The senior administration at West Point inexplicably refuses to enforce West Point's publicly touted high standards on cadets, and having picked up on this, cadets refuse to enforce standards on each other. That's great when standards aren't being enforced.
Mm-hmm.
The superintendent refuses to enforce admission standards or the cadet honor code, and the dean refuses to enforce academic standards, and the commandant refuses to enforce standards of conduct and discipline. The end result is sort of a malaise that pervades the entire institution. Nothing matters anymore. Cadets know this, and it's given rise to a level of cadet arrogance and entitlement, the likes of which West Point has never seen in its history. Every fall, the superintendent addresses the staff and faculty and lies. He repeatedly states we are going to have winning sports teams without compromising our standards, and everyone in Robinson Auditorium knows he is lying because we routinely admit athletes with ACT scores in their mid-teens across the board. I have personally taught cadets who are borderline illiterate and cannot read simple passages from the assigned textbooks. It is disheartening when the institution's most senior leader openly lies to his own faculty, and they all know it. The Cadet Honor Code has become a laughingstock. Hey, Ghosty, could you look up the Cadet Honor Code for West Point, please?
Yeah, can do.
Thank you. Cadets know they will not be separated for violating it, and thus they do so on a daily basis. Moreover, since they refuse to enforce standards on each other and police their own ranks, cadets will rarely find a cadet at an honor hearing despite an overwhelming evidence that a violation has occurred. This in turn has caused the staff and faculty to give up even reporting honor incidents. So why would a staff or faculty member expend the massive amount of time and energy it takes to report an honor violation, including writing multiple sworn statements, giving interviews, and testifying at the honor hearing, when they know without a doubt the cadet will not be found, or if found, the superintendent will not separate the cadet? To make matters worse, the senior leadership at West Point actively discourages staff and faculty from reporting honor violations. I'm going to stop right there. That is fucking retarded. These are our fucking future leaders in the Army. What the fuck is going to happen if one of these cadets comes out to Big Army? And I'm not going to talk about Second Lieutenant Rapone. You know, he's fucking doing his thing in Afghanistan, and whatever it is, I'll wait until afterwards, and we got their guys back home that can sit there and say, oh, he was a great fucking leader. Communist, but a great fucking leader. Or, oh, he was a fucking shitbag. What happens when you don't enforce standards in any capacity?
Well, your Joes aren't going to respect you, and they're going to think they can do the same shit, and it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah, you get the toxic fucking leadership. You get the do as I say, not as I do. You get the fucking Well, according to AR, where everything is black and white, there are no gray zones, which we all know there's a gray zone for everything. You know, you get toxic leadership in all different forms, you know, and that, why the fuck? Do you have that honor code picked up?
I do, yeah.
You, God.
Want me to read it?
Yeah, just give me some highlights.
Okay, well, the meat and potatoes of it is a cadet will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. And then it, like, defines each piece of that, like,
Okay.
lying. Cadets violate the honor code by lying if they deliberately deceive another by stating an untruth or by any direct form of communication to include the telling of a partial truth in vague or
Jesus.
ambiguous use of information or language with the intent to deceive or mislead. And then just cheating, stealing, all that.
Yeah,
so
let's. A cadet will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. So, if the honor code is being violated, and people are lying, cheating, and stealing, do we want those motherfuckers in leadership position?
I wouldn't.
How can I know that if something happened, my LT is going to have my back? Or fucking, you know, he loses his fucking nods, now I have to watch out for mine. Or God forbid, you know, I don't know how to apply cheating in a real life scenario that could have some severe consequences. You know, fucking writing shitty NCOERs, writing.
The guy who wrote the article said that he detailed a time where he tried to correct a cadet and reported him, and he was told to stay in his lane. And I'm like, are you kidding?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, I'm in college. Okay, I'm taking a semester off from college, but I'm in fucking college. I would never tell one of my fucking teachers, hey, stay in your fucking lane, when they're trying to correct one of my actions.
Mm-hmm.
In any capacity. That's the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Stay in your lane. Hey, listen, man, you need to fucking stop doing that shit. You know, that's kind of inappropriate. It goes against your honor. Stay in your lane. I'd fucking smack the shit out of that fucking 18-year-old little punk. I'd be fired and charged with assault, but I'd be that fucking professor that fucking whooped his ass harder than fucking goddamn Predator raped fucking Jesse Ventura.
Ouch.
I ain't got time to leave, but stay in your fucking lane. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, he told the teacher to stay. He told the teacher to stay in his lane, trying to correct a cadet who was out of line, like long hair, tattoos, wearing jeans in a staff room, just sitting at the desk
Bitch,
without
you
a shirt
are my
on.
lane.
Hmm?
Oh. We're gonna fast forward to God damn it! I just had it. There we go. There it is. Oh, here it is. I found what you were talking about.
Yep.
If my fucking computer will load it, that'd be nice.
It's rage-inducing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is rage-inducing. It is infuriating, and how fucking dare they?
West Point, when I was growing up, was like this prestigious place where, I mean, you had to bust your ass so hard to try to get there, and even then, you know, you probably won't. And it was like the best of the best come out of there. Well, they're supposed to, and you know, it's something that was held in high regard. And then after reading that, I'm like, I can't believe that.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's that section you were talking about. Cadet conduct and disciplinary standards are in perhaps the worst shape of all. Cadets are jaded, cynical, arrogant, and entitled. They routinely talk back to and snap at their instructors, military and civilian alike, challenge authority, and openly refuse to follow regulations. They are allowed to wear civilian clothes in almost any arena outside the classroom, and they flaunt that privilege. Some arrive to class unshaven, in need of haircuts, and with uniforms that look so ridiculously bad that, at times, I could not believe I was even looking at a West Point cadet. However, if a staff or faculty member attempts to correct the cadet in question, that staff or faculty member is sure to be reprimanded for, and I'm going to do quotation marks here, harassing cadets. For example, as I made my rounds to the barracks inspecting study conditions one evening as the academic officer in charge, I encountered a cadet in a company study room. He was wearing a pair of blue jeans and nothing else, and was covered in tattoos. He had long hair. Okay, there's one. Was unshaven, and I was honestly unsure if he even was a cadet. Okay. He looked more like a prison convict to me. When I questioned what he was doing there, he remained seated in his chair and sneered at me that he was authorized because he was a first-class cadet. I proceeded to correct him and then reported him to the chain of command the next morning. Later that day, I received an email from the brigade tactical officer telling me to stay in my lane. Okay. That's fucking toxic leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's the...
And like at the highest level, too.
At the highest level. He was the fucking... the AOIC, the academic officer in charge. Fucking... in charge. In fucking charge, people. And he gets told, stay in your lane. He was in his fucking lane. God damn. Oh god, D-Max is perfect. I'm gonna try to do my best Rick voice for it too. Morty, I mean Elsie, I'm gonna need you to take this AR rig and put it way up your butthole. Hell yeah. Fucking dying here now. Swallowed a bit of my dip.
You. Yeah, like, you know, I didn't even, I was not an officer, I was enlisted. And when I went through boot camp in 2008, our first sergeant, he was like, I guess he was an acting first sergeant because he wasn't actually, I think he was like a rank lower, but he was a combat engineer who'd already been to Iraq like 3 or 4 times. And they got everybody, our whole company together, and they said, they have implemented this new way of us dealing with you guys, and we're not allowed to do all this shit. Would you guys like us to treat you guys the way they want us to treat you? Or do you want us to do it the old way, like what we went through, so when you go to Iraq and Afghanistan and things like that, you are a hell of a lot more prepared for it. And so our whole company, my company, was like, we want the old school way. And we got the old school way. And we outperformed all of the other companies. And everybody was way better for it. And so for like, I'm like, how does a bunch of people that go through enlisted, that go through boot camp, choose to have their drill sergeants and their first sergeant put them through the ringer like they did when they went through, and then you've got a bunch of like hoity-toity spoiled brats who are supposed to be officers in a really prestigious place that were supposed to already uphold that kind of a standard, whine and bitch and complain and act like pussies because somebody told them to do something, or that they were doing it wrong, or they were dressed wrong, or whatever.
Okay, so I'm gonna bitch and moan about my generation. My generation, we fall under the category of millennials. I am a Gen X millennial. Sorry, Gen Y. I'm a Gen Y millennial. I'm Gen Y millennials were born in late 80s, early 90s. We are bitter. We are, we grew up with having to be home by streetlights and being told you do whatever you want to do. You work hard, you can get whatever job you want, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And it's a shitty thing, but Gen Y millennials are the bitter ones that suck it up and work the shitty jobs and move on and progress and become, working people. They work. Now, the next generation, the one that actually defined the whole category, the millennials, grew up with instant gratification. And when you have instant anything, there comes a degree of being spoiled. You saw that change. You saw a similar thing back in the 50s and 60s. Television, the microwave, drive-throughs, shit like that. You saw a similar thing, and as that became the norm, eventually it phased out and then became Gen Ys, and now we're back to the same thing with iPhones, Google, instantaneous whatever you want, Uber, all that shit. And when you have, and it's approximately every, if you look through history, every 40 to 50 years, sometimes even 60 or 70, you have something like this happen. But when you are in the military, or you want to be in the military, and you go to a military academy, you are acknowledging you're above that pettiness. You are saying, yeah, I'm willing to put my country before myself. Now, we're going to get to Second Lieutenant Rapone here. This is where I'm going to loop it back to him. Second Lieutenant Rapone, the communist supporter, the infantry officer at Fort Drum, has his CIB. Right then and there, I'm thrilled about that, because he's starting to make that transition. And when time progresses and his Joes and himself come home, people will talk. People always talk. So we're going to hear about what Second Lieutenant Rapone was like. And especially in this day and age, we'll hear something maybe even before that, because Facebook, Skype, all that shit. We may hear more about that. So if you know someone that's serving with him, please let him know. I want to get your opinion about him if you served with him. If you're serving with him now. If you're watching this in Afghanistan, which I don't know why the hell you're up this late or this early, because I'm not tracking what time it is. Hit me up. Let me know. Is he a good officer? Is he a bad officer? Because it doesn't matter what your personal beliefs are. The minute you sign that contract, be it for West Point, be it for enlistment, be it for ROTC, be it for whatever, you are dedicating yourself to something more and greater than yourself. You're dedicating yourself to the country. And even if you are a communist supporter who believes the country would be better off communist, or you're a diehard American Republican that lives, eats, and breathes the red, white, and blue. Sorry. Had to have my morning cup of Mountain Dew. You acknowledge that something greater is the country. So, as time goes on, please, if you know someone that's serving with them, if you have a way to get this word out, do it. I want to hear about Second Lieutenant Rapone. I want to hear about this shining example of what not to do in uniform and what he currently is doing in uniform. And I will be very closely keeping track of when 10th Mountain guys are due home. And I'll be all over them Facebook pages to try to find out more info. Because hot damn, this is just, if you have one that thinks he can get away with being shirtless and just wearing blue jeans and looking like a fucking shitbag, where else do you think fucking standards are failing?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
I hate to sound like that fucking Sergeant Major from fucking Generation Kill. It's like, the grooming standard! But you're in fucking college. College is the easiest fucking thing you can do. Even a military academy. It's the easiest fucking thing you can do. Show up, do your homework. Fucking, all you gotta do is get a fucking C. By the way, they'll tell you what to wear. They'll tell you where to be. It's right time, right place. Do your homework. Fucking easy as shit. Mm-hmm. And if you still manage to fuck that shit up, I don't know how to fucking help you. Rant over.
I'm trying to bury it, or it would be, yeah. I don't want to rage, so.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm just gonna force it down a little bit, but.
I mean, it's not like it's not like Donald Trump just got called out by someone that we're gonna dedicate 5 minutes to this stupidity.
Yeah, I was gonna make a comment about one of the things that he highlighted in one of his rants.
Oh God, let's hear it.
So he said he was gonna pay for his extravagant trips. Well, last I heard, he pays for his own trips, and he doesn't take his paycheck, his presidency paycheck, because of the money that he makes. A. B. If you want to talk about extravagant trips, let's look at the 85 to 100 million or billion, whatever Obama spent with his trips, and the trips that he took during like actual meetings and things he was supposed to be doing, or that he didn't even meet with Netanyahu from Israel. I mean, if you want to pick somebody apart, I mean, we can play that game. So
okay, let's. Oh my God, that's a fucking hilarious line. I'm sorry, I'm reading through the lines verse by verse, and I'm like, racism's the only thing he's fantastic for, because that's how he gets his rocks off. He's orange. Oh my God, lol, fucking lol.
it's funny, but at the end of the day, Eminem's an entertainer, and that's what he gets paid to do. Like,
now, you've heard me say, fucking, we pay you to entertain, shit like that. When you're dealing with music, like with sports, it's easy to say that. I pay you to move the ball from one end to the other and score a point. Done. I've explained every sports game ever.
Oh, he still gets paid to entertain people with music.
But with music falls under the arts. And I can't criticize as quickly as I did with the sports industry. First of all, hell yeah for him fucking coming out with his fucking this song, this freestyle. I'm gonna sit there and say it. Fucking hell yeah. I fucking am still gonna listen to Eminem. I'm still gonna fucking buy his next album because I'm a fucking sucker for him. And I'm still gonna sit there with my mama, sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is so cool!" Like the little white Jewish people we are. But when it comes to sports, yeah, criticize quick. But when it comes to art, we can't. We have to understand, and the part that pisses me off, the only part that pisses me off, is you're either with me or you're either with Trump or against me. Or you're either with me or against Trump. There we go.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. And that's that whole narrative with a lot of people these days, where it's like, I have my opinion about Trump or about this or about that, and if you have to accept my opinion, or you're a racist, or you voted for Trump, or you're this or you're that, and that's bullshit. It's like it's not one or the other. It's like, oh, you're not allowed to have a different opinion from me, or you don't actually like me, or you don't support me. That's bullshit.
Now let's jump back over a year ago, where we're sitting here. Well, not exactly us, but the show's on, and we're saying the same damn thing about Donald Trump. That's the funny thing here, is that during the campaign, President Trump, said the same things. And that's the part that I'm finding hilarious. Both men here, Donald Trump and Eminem, are playing the same game in their own industries. And we, the people, are biting into it and tearing it apart. And the harsh reality is, it's not going to affect album sales. It's not going to affect Donald Trump's presidency. All it's going to do is drive up ratings and money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, I'm not going to get pissed off about one man's...
He's getting old, too, isn't he, Eminem?
Yeah, he's like 49 almost, or 48, something like that.
Yeah, he's almost 50.
He knows what the fuck he's saying and doing. He knows that saying that is going to, okay...
my bad.
What's up?
He's 40. He's 44.
Oh, he's 44. Oh shit. Okay, he's younger than my.
I thought he was older.
Oh shit! I thought he was the same age as my parents, but
that's still old for like the way he looks and like how long he's been rapping, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Let him. This is the arts we're talking about. We're not talking about sports. We're talking about the arts. The arts subjective. There we go.
Subjective.
God I just can't speak today, Ghosty.
It's okay.
I need to put some fucking whiskey in this Mountain Dew real quick so I can get on the fucking point. Art is subjective. Art is critical. It always has been, from the time of Michelangelo and Raphael all the way to now with Eminem dissing the president. Art is subjective. What one person likes isn't going to be what the other person likes. I'm still going to fucking listen to Eminem. I'm still going to fucking enjoy his music. I'm going to fucking listen to this freestyle. When I leave here, or in a couple hours, when I leave my house in a couple hours, to go fucking, shoot competition with somebody, a very close friend of mine, I'm probably going to be rocking out to this fucking freestyle because it probably is going to be fucking fire and, awesome. I'm not going to be worried about the goddamn message. I'm going to be worried about, is it fucking cool and do I like it? It's going to be like with me and fucking Moana's You're Welcome, where I've listened to it a million times and I know every word and I can sing it. But fucking, it's art. Art is supposed to be critical and make you think and go, huh? I mean, shit. It isn't like like I said, it isn't like the fucking sports industry where it's like, no, we fucking pay you to move a fucking ball. This is he brings up a good point, and I like the way that his bass drops right at this time, which signifies the X, Y, and Z module. It's fucking art. And
yeah, it's his opinion as well, and you don't have to like it or agree with it, but he's allowed to have it. I mean, he didn't threaten him in any way, so
yeah, it's better than the fucking Kathy Griffin. Like, that's the meme that's really getting me. It's like, oh, no one could ruin their career faster than me, and it's Kathy Griffin. And then, of course, everyone's sitting there like, Eminem, hold my beer. And I'm like, dude, he didn't ruin his fucking career. He's done what he's always done.
That's just an opinion, though. He didn't, like, threaten the president or have a, like, dummy of his head in their hands, like, they cut it off. So
he didn't cause irreparable damage to poor, Barron.
Yeah.
Who
Kathy Griffin is like, she's a D-list celebrity already anyways. Now she's probably like all the way towards Z.
Yes, words are hard. I know they are. Thank you. Can't. Don't know who said that. WTF Nation Radio. My own radio is rebelling against me. Well, with that being said, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna rock on out to some music, and we'll be back for the second half, where I can sit here and I'm on air. I'm going to do my Pookie dance. You will see it, because breaking news: police arrest Mandalay security guard as second shooter in Las Vegas massacre. My tinfoil hat was on correctly.
It's going to be a big story. You guys don't want to miss it.
So, be sure to tune in the second hour. Stay for the music. It's going to be a lot of fun. And shots!
WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back, guys. Welcome back to Jose's Taco Truck. It's me, KJ, running the buttons, and Ghosty is here as well. Hey, Ghosty.
Hello, hello.
So, we get to the man of the hour, and not Second Lieutenant Rapone. Breaking news. Police arrest Mandalay security guard Jesus Campos as second shooter in Las Vegas massacre. I'm going to read the story and then I'm going to gush. Mandalay Bay security guard Jesus Campos has been arrested and accused of being an accomplice and second shooter in the Las Vegas massacre that claimed the lives of 59 people and injured more than 500. Jesus Campos has originally been praised for his apparent heroics on October 1st, as he supposedly rushed to Paddock's suite, was shot in the upper thigh through the door, and continued to help get people to safety despite his wounds. However, FBI officials involved in the investigation now believe he was an accomplice of Paddock's and was involved in the initial shooting as a second gunman from the other broken window in Paddock's 32nd floor room. According to a senior FBI official, authorities became suspicious by the extreme amounts of gunpowder residue found on Campos' hands and inconsistencies in his timeline of events. We believe he killed Paddock, shot holes through the door and his own arm to produce physical evidence for his cover story, then went and laid next to the elevator, the FBI official told CNN. An anonymous source working on the investigation told CNN that authorities are now in possession of security footage showing Campos smuggling the firearms used in the massacre in through a Mandalay Bay loading dock in the days leading up to the events. With the arrest of Campos, police now hope... With the arrest of Campos... Wow, CNN, your fucking punctuation. With the arrest of Campos, police now hope to get a greater understanding of the motivations behind the attack. Goddamn CNN. Fucking no commas, none of that bullshit. So, what are your thoughts on that, Ghosty?
I believe it. I feel like that's true. I mean, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have had gunshot residue all over him. That's not how it works. It's not like he's gonna find like that amount of gunshot residue all over like victims. It lands on your clothes and your hands and your wrists and your fingers and everything from firing a weapon.
Actually, I am terribly sorry. It turns out this is fake.
Oh.
Motherfuckers. I retract that. What the hell? Well, that brings up a whole nother conversation. First of all, I want to say thank you for noticing that, Pookie. I'm terribly sorry about that report. Wow, it looks like CNN. It acts like CNN. The punctuation. That should have been my first clue. I am so sorry, folks. God
Punctuation.
damn. The punctuation. It's like the last sentence. With the arrest of Campos police.
The one comma that they missed. The whole...
one comma. I should have fucking caught it. I am terribly sorry, folks. Oh. Yeah, I'm a shitbag.
It just kind of begged the question. It does kind of play into that a little bit, though. Even though that appears to be a fake article, it does. Like I did bring that up last week. Like how that was a lot of guns. If he smuggled one in a huge duffel bag, and because if he drove from California to Las Vegas or whatever, and didn't have to go through anything, I get it. But it does kind of play into that whole theory about how to get all of those guns in there, and the other window was open, and people saw flashes from a different window. So,
well,
I don't know.
Okay.
It wouldn't be the first time that the accomplice killed the person and then shot themselves to make it look like that they didn't do anything. It wouldn't.
Now I'm like stressing, like I'm actually going to CNN's website, like seeing if this is actually true. Because something like this will be all over the internet, and it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
God, I'm sorry, guys, but no, you're absolutely right. That is a very plausible theory, and the way it was written out, that's pretty fucking. That's a pretty good theory, honestly. Of what happened.
Haven't
and how
you?
It could have happened.
Yeah, but haven't you guys ever also heard of stories of like police officers or firefighters or first responders that like start fires or injure people and then try to then turn themselves into the hero? Like there's people that actually do that.
Yeah, there are plenty of people that fucking.
I forget what they call those people. It's like don't they call them like angels of death or something like that?
Oh god, I don't.
That purposefully, like they do stuff like that purposefully so that they can turn around and be the hero like all the time.
Oh god, I call them bullshit artists, but whatever. D-Max. You know what? Fucking, you got me there, D-Max. Security can find someone counting cars, but not a dude with 30 weapons. You know, that does bring up some good points. And you're absolutely right. We're going to call... I don't remember what they're called, Ghosty, but you're right. You know, false flag fuckers, shit like that. No, Eddie, today is not the first day. I've been here since last Tuesday. We're doing this every Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 1, Eddie. Don't you stress it. You'll be here. We'll be here having fun. But D-Max brings up a good point. You know,
I found it. Go ahead.
found what?
What it's called?
What's it called?
It's called hero syndromes on Wikipedia. It's a
Oh.
phenomenon affecting people who seek heroism or recognition, usually by creating a desperate situation which they can resolve.
Word.
This can include unlawful acts such as arson. The phenomenon has been noted to affect civil servants such as firefighters, nurses, police officers, and security guards. Acts linked with the hero syndrome should not be confused with acts of malice, for example.
Hey, Jen, hold on.
Yeah.
Ghosty, hold on a second. Hi there. You're live on the air with WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, Minx, how you doing?
Good. So I just wanted to kind of call in because what Steve said about
You broke up on me, Minx.
right. So I was calling in because Ghosty said something about angels with death, right?
Yeah, hero
Yeah.
syndrome.
And yes, hospital workers are very guilty of that.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's bad.
You have a story,
There's
don't
actually
you?
been, it was a woman, NICU nurse. So she was, she worked with babies, right? And
I heard about her.
she was a serial killer because she killed, that they know of, about 20 infants.
Yep.
And like she would inject them with something, and then she would be the one to call the code blue, but she knew what she injected them with, so she knew how to counter it. And so she would get like praise because, you know, she would save the day. But again, sometimes she would overdose the infant and like were not able to be saved.
That's fucking
Yep.
horrifying.
So okay, so
Yeah.
I got to the meatier part of the definition. It says the hero syndrome may also be a more general yearning for self-worth. People with hero syndrome will usually cause an accident and pretend to help. In corporate environments, the hero syndrome manifests itself when the protagonist suffering the syndrome creates supposed, implied, or ostensible crises, only to eventually resolve them, thereby becoming the savior of the day, the hero of the moment. So
Yep.
I think that that's plausible.
I'm not gonna lie, I suffer from hero syndrome when I play Arma.
Yeah, well, that's
Don't worry, KJ's here.
very different.
I have the Cass. No, but that's some seriously fucked up shit, and it brings up an excellent question, especially with that fucking fake news article from the fake CNN. Wow, that's just so much fakery in one sentence. You know,
Yeah. Well, and then you hear about like serial killers or people like that have accomplices, and then the accomplice kills them, or they kill the accomplice, or they make themselves look like they were the victim to get away, and that person was the one who did it all. So, I mean, I feel like there is a little bit, there could be some stock to that potentially.
yeah, you know, if that comes out as something that is true, that would be fucking insane, because that right, if what was said there is true in any capacity, which we don't have any way to verify, we have no way to actually confirm that article is proof, and being that it's coming from a fake CNN site, I don't believe it now. But we're gonna run down this hypothetical real quick. That leads to a shit ton more of plausible motives, and I think that's why it was written, was to start providing a narrative for a motive, which we still don't have. And I think that's starting to bother people more and more, and now people are starting to write their own things, posting them on the internet, faking them as real news, and could be pushing out that narrative of what the quotation marks motive is, be it in this case Jesus Campos, And the easiest thing I could think of, oh my God, please don't hate me, is, oh hey, he was a Hispanic man. It's in response to Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration and immigrants and his attitude towards Mexico. It's not, and that's not true. That's just an idea of what an article like this purpose is for, which would be to create a fake motive. What do you think about that, Ghosty?
I don't know. I mean, it's that day and age where it's hard to believe anything. I mean, and you could be spoon-fed anything, and you could think that it's the truth. But I've been trying to sit back and let it kind of unfold so we get more stuff. Obviously, they're not going to probably tell everybody everything.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way investigations go. But
we're right back.
I feel a little tinfoil hat-ish because I do feel like it was too many. It's too many weapons. The other window was open. The security guard was injured. The inconsistencies between him calling for help and how that happened, and it does kind of beg the question of if having an inside job kind of a person.
Let's go down that rabbit hole. We've avoided it we've avoided the past couple shows. Let's go down that rabbit hole finally. What is your tinfoil? What do you think? What do you think? What doesn't add up? What in your opinion? As we put our tinfoil hats on. Hold on, I gotta go to the kitchen and make one real quick.
Yeah, I feel like
Thanks
I
for
saw
calling in,
comment.
Minx. Appreciate it.
I saw a comment somebody made about they broke it down. They're like, this guy had no military training. He didn't know how to fire it properly. He was like, someone had to have helped him. They had to show him how to do it. They had to show him what he needed to do with it. All these they just laid it out there, and this, none of this shit adds up. And we'll see how it goes. But he had to have had somebody tell him to do it and tell him what to do, or he had someone there with him. But I feel like okay, so say you did he drove, because he drove right to Vegas from California, if that's what I remember correctly hearing. So there goes worrying about airport security because he drove to his hotel. Right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so how did he get 10 flippin' assault rifles into a hotel without them knowing about it? Or checking his bags?
I don't think it was from California, though.
Well, that's what I originally read, when the story first came out. Someone said he drove from his home from California or some shit like that. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going around, so don't quote me on it. I don't know. But you heard he flew his private plane? Maybe. I mean, but again, that's a lot of weapons to get. That's a lot of bags. That's a lot of weapons to get into a hotel without people noticing. So for me, that inside person would make sense. The security guard, it kind of would make sense. I mean, he could show him all those back ways to get stuff in and out. If that security guard is a part of it, it's well, shit was gonna hit the fan. He killed the dude and then injured himself to make it look like he wasn't a part of it, and then he just got caught in the crossfire, kind of a thing. So I don't know. I feel like it's either someone put him up to it and told him exactly everything he needs to do for it, and he was just a pawn in somebody else's agenda, or someone else helped him do it and then killed him.
See, my personal feeling about it is, as I'm looking at the timeline, there was a point in August where a person using the name Stephen Paddock reserved a room at the Blackstone Hotel in Chicago in August during the Lollapalooza Music Festival. There's a pattern, and they're not sure if it was the same guy, but there's a pattern showing, he's checking to make sure his, Hurricane Irma hits. Oh, that's a convenient time for me to make sure my family's okay. Make sure they're doing it, whether they have power, everything is going well. Are you guys okay? And sends his girlfriend away. moves on to she's traveling across the Pacific. Rents out a condo in downtown Las Vegas, same time as the Life is Beautiful music festival. You know, we're seeing a trend here now with the music festivals, and what worries me is with that much excess of 10 suitcases up to a suite, and housekeepers visit the suite and did not see anything amiss.
Exactly.
That's what worries me the most, is that you have a situation where no one saw anything leading up to it, and there had to have been someone that knew anything, be it Jesus Campos as an insider based off this fake article, or fucking just a housekeeper. It's like, what the fuck is this doing here? You know, people had to have seen something. And smashing the windows with a hammer? What? These are not your run-of-the-mill windows. There's a lot of things that don't add up, and it bothers me, especially, you know, he fires his final shots, which were recorded on the officer's body cam at 10:15, and then at 10:17, the first two officers arrive on Paddock's floor. So I'm assuming those final shots were recorded from an officer on the ground, not an officer that was on the floor. You know, it's things just don't.
Yeah, and then aren't those windows meant to be made where like they're nearly impossible to break to prevent people from like running through them?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. If I had an answer to that, I would. But every hotel I've stayed at, I couldn't run through one of those windows.
Right, because they're supposed to prevent it from people getting accidentally pushed through them or jumping through them and committing suicide and things like that.
Yeah, you know, it's, I don't know. It's fucking weird, and there's so much stuff that's weird with it that I'm twitching here, and I want to read the reports, and I want to find out what the goddamn motive is. That's what bothers me the most. I don't have a motive yet. And when I get that motive, that's when I'm going to be happy. That's when I'm not going to be sitting there wide-eyed, bugging, like, what the fuck is going on? That is when I'm going to be thrilled.
Yeah, but they should all. I do kind of feel like if they're not already investigating that security guard, they probably should.
They probably are.
Because it is fishy, regardless of the article being fake or not. I mean, the guy slaughtered people with assault rifles. So how did that guy, you know, only get kind of shot through a door? Like, if I was that guy and I knew someone was trying to stop me from doing what I'm doing, I would have killed him. So
yeah, I would have. If I'm pulling an O.J. Simpson here, if KJ was to do it, if I did it, there would be no one coming at my door. Like, I would go to the extent of, okay, yeah, gotta go to Home Depot as well, get some PVC and some nails, and, you know, really make it to where if someone wants to gain entry, they're gonna have to fight for it.
Oh yeah, but but how, like, and then if that security guard has a pistol or a taser, how are you gonna rush somebody who's firing off an assault rifle?
You know, it's different stroke. I mean, if I personally just had a pistol or a taser and I heard fucking rounds going off, my immediate instinct is get to cover, identify where the threat is, identify where and what, return fire,
But that's like military training versus a security guard.
Yeah, but
most likely didn't serve looking at his picture, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just my initial reaction.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that is he is a huge, he is my go-to guy for guns. If I have a question about a firearm, he is who I contact. And he's been in the industry forever, in the armed security, in contracting, all that shit. This guy knows if, ands, or buts, law enforcement, is not military. But one of the things is when he was teaching the armed security stuff, when he was teaching armed security continuing education classes, he constantly reinforced who, what, where, when, why. You know, easily translatable to the distance, direction, description. You know, all those things that effect in an active shooter environment, be it in military, law enforcement, or terroristic. All those important factors is something he taught. Now he's down in Florida. Security guards generally have to have similar training depending on what the states are. So most security guards are going to be taught, especially if you're armed, you just got a taser and a fucking pistol, get guests or customers out, make sure you are that border between the threat, and if need to, defend yourself or defend the customer or guest. You're not an officer, so you can't just fucking literally just start taking shots off and but you got a fucking pistol, and if he responded in kind to go deal with the threat, and he's sitting there and he's okay, let's see what the threat is, let's go, shit, my leg, shit, my arm, alright, fucking get back to the elevator, alright, good on him. But if he was involved in any way, shape, or form, well, you deserve whatever's coming to you, asshole.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. My spidey senses are tingling. It just doesn't. It just something's amiss with the security guard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least somebody within the hotel itself.
Yeah. Oh Lord Almighty. Man, this fucking Vegas thing. I just want it to be. I want it to be solved. I want us to have a motive. I want us to be able to start progressing and healing past this. Which it's not. It's not going to be for a while.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. I don't know. They found a paper there with calculations for wind speed, velocity, bullet drop, etc. I don't know any novice who would even consider that. Allie, do you have a source for that? Do you have something for that? Do you have a... Because I would love to read where you got that, because that right there is very alarming. That worries me a bit. Especially if he's calculating for wind speed, velocity, bullet drop, all the things that marksmen worry about when you're shooting over a distance. That's huge. That means it was premeditated. There was a major plan. There was a target. And I'm not saying an individual target. That is a
long-term investment in a massive massacre.
Yeah. Now it's
which
very
seems more like there's a motive other than I just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, I know. At the same time, I'm hoping and praying it isn't. It turns out it isn't that. But if it is I just want to watch the world burn scenario, I'm going to be twitching because in my lifetime, I haven't encountered a person that's like that. But fuck, that's just chilling.
Yeah.
So, goddamn fake CNN. Fucking. That's what pisses me off is someone, and the worst part was it looked like a CNN news site. That's the worst part. It looked like CNN. I was like, oh wow, this is legitimate. And
yeah.
Bad KJ, you're an idiot.
Fooled, bamboozled. It happens.
So continuing on the strain of Vegas, I'm about to message you the article as well, and we can look at it together and stumble across it. There you go. There you go, Gusty. I got you covered.
All right.
So ABC News reports that a Vegas shooting survivor sues the hotel, the festival organizer, the bump stock maker, and Paddock's estate. Here we fucking go again. Tuesday we talked
about... Oh, it started the video on its own. So, what does the hotel, the festival organizer, and even, what the fuck, even the bump stock maker have to do with Paddock? Did they tell Paddock, did they know he was going to do that? Did they know he was going to be at their hotel? And he was going to bring 10 weapons? I mean, come on. If you want to sue his estate, go for it, 100%. I would be fine with that. I mean, I'd do it. But how do you sue the hotel and the festival organizer? Like, they didn't fucking know that guy was gonna try to kill every single person that was there. I mean, come on. Let's be real. I mean, that's turning a massive tragedy into, like, personal gain. I mean, I hate to say that about a survivor, but if you're gonna make it about money, like how much money you can get out of it, I don't like that.
Now,
And again, the bump stock thing, I said, last week, you can't, or Tuesday, you can't, it's, you can't just do that.
I went straight to the Mandalay Bay Resort casino section of this article. And the logic for this, for including them in the lawsuit, is sound. The MGM and Mandalay Corporation, the parent companies of the hotel where Paddock stayed, were accused of failing to train their personnel or supervise them adequately. Now, in addition, this is where the basis is sound. The lawsuit alleges that the companies failed to monitor the hotel premises for the shooter's delivery of guns and ammunition to his hotel room, or monitor closed-circuit television, CCTV, while Paddock planted video devices. That's where they're fucked. Now, anyone here, go to your fucking local gas station, buy a 24-pack of Tic Tacs, and then walk through a hotel and do not do this, by the way. This is just for the fucking emphasis on how stupid it is. But go through, if you want to do something stupid, don't do it. Go to your fucking local gas station, pick up 24 packs of Tic Tacs, and as you're walking through a hotel, be sure to make it a point to do something like this. Take the Tic Tac pack and put it into a planter. Every time you cross a planter, put a Tic Tac pack in. Don't do this, by the way. Do not fucking do this. The hotel is going to take notice. The hotel is going to do something about that, at least where I live. So, of course, these geniuses that are operating CCTV did not catch on the idea that someone is putting something in their potted plants and other areas, nooks and crannies, and stop to direct anyone to see what's going on. That is where MGM and the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, that is where they fucked up. You can't fucking train personnel to pick up a suitcase and go, well, this feels like it has an AR-15 in it. Well, what do you know? I mean...
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that point as well. I'm just saying it just... there are those people that are going to try to just take full fucking advantage. And I feel... And again, that goes back to, like, the people who made the bump stock. It's like... They don't have any control over what people do with them. And they're legal for them to sell them. So how can you sue the company for a product somebody used in malice? I mean,
Now, even further, this is where the lawsuit now has some serious merit against Live Nation, the guys who promoted the event. They breached their duty by failing to design, build, and mark adequate exits in case of emergency. You ever go somewhere and you see all those fucking exit signs? Anywhere? Yeah. Fucking... If you noticed, people started bunching up and there was maybe one or two exits mainly. So people were funneling through these exits and getting wrecked. So, Live Nation is fucked here because there's too much video evidence of showing that. And that's the horrible thing is, yeah, someone's going to sue. She's going to make millions of dollars off of this, more than likely, because they're going to want to fucking settle. They're not going to want to fucking go to court to a jury because the jury's going to sympathize, especially because the one what's her name, Paige Gasper, the one who's doing this lawsuit, got shot and survived. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sympathy card there. It's appalling that on so many different levels, I know for a fact, I used to, when I was doing the driving gig and I was working with hotels and I was working with pilots and flight attendants, I know for a fact that whenever I did something that seemed a little, like I was sitting too long in a certain spot, waiting for my pilots and flight attendants to come out of the hotel, security came by, hey, how's it going? How are you? What's going on? the hotel fucked up. The venue fucked up. Bump stock. I fucking hate bump stock.
That's the
Ghosty,
first time. Like, this is the first time I've actually ever heard of that.
You have no idea how much I hate bump stock, Ghosty. It drives me nuts. Everyone's...
But what I'm getting at is, like, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit. I mean, as far as the lawsuit goes, like, I mean, like, kind of like picking it apart a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. I get where she's coming from, and I understand. You know, and I understand, and I feel like, yeah, she's more than entitled to go forward with it, and she'll probably win. It just, I don't know. It feels like kind of a, I don't know how to word it. I mean, you know, there's so many other victims, so it's like, what, are you gonna set up a GoFundMe?
Well,
are you gonna share it? What are you gonna do with it? Are you just gonna go retire off into Fiji on a beach and fuck everybody else?
There's
and,
already,
you know, I mean, you know,
there's already a class action suit. There's already one class action suit, but you don't have to join that class action suit.
right?
Yeah, and also whatever you get in that class action suit, you have to share with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, Ice just commented. I love Ice. Don't buy the lawsuit. Where do they store weapons during the SHOT Show? Some vendors store their weapons in the room, and that's fine. I completely understand the whole part of it where, you know, failing to train their personnel and supervise them adequately. Once again, I'll refer to, oh, this piece of luggage feels like it has an AR-15 in it. You know, that's fucking retarded. You can't do that. But supervise them adequately in regards to the CCTV, that I can see the lawsuit being successful in. That I can see, I can't see bump stock because they've already been deemed they were legal by the ATF. And there's already enough shenanigans going on with Congress and the NRA, and Congress, NRA, fucking Senate, and we need to regulate them, which I completely agree. This is going to be, Paige is going to make a decent amount of money. She's going to be asked why she didn't go in that fucking class action, and she's going to say, you know, not my deal. But that's her right.
Yeah, 100%.
Allie, thanks for sharing that article. I'm opening it up now, and I'm getting it to you, Ghosty, ASAP.
Okay.
Making sure I'm in the taco truck. There you go. It's in our office.
Which one is this? Is this the?
This is the one revealing the contents of the Vegas Madman's cryptic notes.
Oh, right.
Slip of paper contains the handwritten calculations of his elevation and distance from the 20,000 concert goers below, and shows he spent time mathematically maximizing his firing accuracy so he could kill as many people as possible. I could see on it he had written the distance, the elevation he was on, the drop of wind, Okay, is this real New York Post? That's what I'm verifying now. I already got fooled by a fake CNN. I want to hope we didn't get fooled by a fake New York Post. Vegas notes.
40 yards away is still pretty far.
Gone. Oh. Actually, we're gonna ignore that. Appreciate it, Allie, but we just got another thing. God, posted it about an hour ago. I'm just verifying it. That's all. Okay. A Manhattan man. Gotta love New York. My home state. Yay. Nabbed for attempting to extort a Colorado company by threatening their employees with a Las Vegas Part 2.
Oh, what a moron.
Victor Casalius, that scared me for a minute, was arrested Tuesday after he reportedly warned the company via email he intended to murder at least 3 employees, whom he referenced by name, before invoking the recent Vegas massacre. I still have not received my goddamn funds, a-holes. Well, get ready for Las Vegas Part 2. Maybe today you will meet your maker.
Sheesh.
Oh god. Top targets for snipers, names of the first row of serial deaths by assassination. Another correspondence reads, naming 3 employees. Please tell loved ones to start picking out a nice, beautiful casket and plan a decent funeral. The words decapitation was written next to a photograph of yet another employee. I've arrived in Denver, another email said, accompanied by a photograph of 2 submachine guns. They're Mac 10s. I want to know who your spouse and children are. This guy's a fucking nut job. He's going to be arraigned in later Wednesday in Brooklyn Federal Court. So next week. But Jesus fucking Christ. Really?
I mean, what do you think was going to happen when he made a comment like that? I'm like, come on.
Well, I think we're going to, I'm just going to, I want to get my money. Let me just send him pictures of Mac 10s. I'm such a thug. I mean, Jesus Christ, people. I've never. I think we're living in the age of the idiot. I honestly believe it. You have the Renaissance and the Crusades and time periods to define. We're in the fucking age of the idiot. We have to be.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been around for a few years now, though.
Oh God, I'm gonna go out to the range today, and I'm just gonna take out my aggression on whatever paper target is put in front of me. It's just, oh God, and then I'm gonna play Arma 3 until my fucking mine detector explodes. Ugh, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, Ghost. Why the hell?
My brain doesn't understand like that level of stupid, so I can't really comprehend it either.
You know what? We're just gonna go out and get some chalupas later, play some PUBG. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Word. So you got anything planned for this weekend other than your qualifier?
No, that's all I'm gonna be preparing for. I've been watching VODs of the other team for about 6 to 10 hours a day, picking them apart. So.
Oh, he tapped his D key He depresses his D key with 1.6 pounds of pressure, meaning that he's gonna turn this corner. God, I can just see you sitting there.
It's not anything like that. But it's like their strategy, how they attack or defend sites, like tendencies that certain players do over and over and over again when they do it, stuff like that. Which operators they pick, because they all do different things, and it's only a 5v5. So if you know what they've got and you know what they're gonna keep picking, you can better counter it. So that's basically all that is.
There's a picture I'm trying to find right now that I'm gonna sneak preview of Ghosty this weekend, but it's not giving it to me. You ever seen the anime Death Note?
Yeah, I love that anime.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Hold on, I'm about to post a picture once I find it, because there we go. Perfect, got it. Perfect. View image. Save image as. Ha ha ha. So this is gonna be you all weekend, all right? And I don't want to post this without your approval. But it's in the office chat.
Check.
But that's what I'm expecting. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I can see. That's what I can see.
Or
happening.
you know the GIF with like the cat that's like furiously like smashing the keyboard. It's gonna be like that.
Sneak preview of Ghosty. I'm gonna post this real quick, and everyone who's interested, if you want a sneak preview of Ghosty, we're gonna have it up. I'm gonna have it up here in just a moment. It's perfect. This is exactly what she's gonna be doing all weekend. There we go. Sneak preview of Ghosty all weekend. Yeah, that's gonna be here all weekend.
More than likely.
And then
I brought my coffee pot upstairs and put it. I plugged it in the wall behind me, so I don't have to go downstairs to make coffee.
There we go. Oh God. So okay. So there is a. This weekend I'm going through Ranger School. For my Milsim group.
Oh God.
And everyone's sitting. I'm just sitting there like, okay, this looks adorable, and everyone's sitting there like, getting all like, oh my god, we have to play for 3 hours in our operation, and then we have to stay up for 12 hours, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, okay, no, yep, okay, yeah. Let me just get my cooler full of snacks here and my Mountain Dew IV ready, and okay, let's get this going. If there ever was a person that represents me in video games, it's Diva from Overwatch. Mountain Dew and Doritos and pizza. Alright, folks. Anyone else got anything exciting they're doing this week? I know D-Max and I are going to be playing video games this weekend, too. Pretty hardcore. I'm excited for this D-Max. I really am. I don't know what we're going to play, but we'll figure it out. So, you ready to do some house cleaning?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, you grab the broom. Alright, here we go. Alright, folks. As you all know, every day of the week we have a show. And of course, you are just listening to Jose's Taco Truck with KJ and the wonderful Ghosty. We're on every Tuesday and Thursday, noon to 1. If you come in later today at 8 p.m. Eastern, you're going to see Ice, Doc Madness, Mike Golf, chit-chatting on Sergeant's Time, and that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Come in tomorrow for Friday Night Freedom, where we're going to have Minx and Mud Puppy talking about 19.1 inches in summer, or whatever else is tickling their fancy that day. I have to tell you about 19.1 inches in summer, by the way, Ghosty.
Okay.
I'll do that in the team room. Saturdays we have Jay Reddy and Pookie for Saturday Night Savagery, which always brings a smile to my face. It just makes me so happy. Don't forget, on Mondays we have our flagship show, the Monday edition, hosted by Ice and Cuffs. We're going to tackle current events and generally have a lovely recap of the weekend. Tuesdays we have, once again, Jose's Taco Truck. And then at 8 we have 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx and Grey Cloud. And on Wednesdays, to round off the week, we have WTF Wednesdays with Jim Bean and Jay Reddy. Nice little bit of, Jim Bean and Pookie, not Jay Reddy. Jim Bean and Pookie. Nice little way to smooth and mellow out your week. Now, of course, we got some excellent guests coming up. This Friday, the 13th, we have Janelle Necht, from Executive Director from Forgotten Soldiers Outreach. Hey, you've heard me talk about them every day on the show. One quick recap. They started in 2003. They were born to help send that little bit of home to our guys overseas. They provide these care packages. You got to be registered by a family member, friend, or commanding officer. Definitely take some time. Google them up, Forgotten Soldiers Outreach, because deployments continue to grow. We're going to have more and more as time goes on, be it from Afghanistan to South Korea. And honestly, who doesn't like getting a little bit of home when they're overseas? Don't forget, next Monday also, we have the 16th, Thomas Marchese, the director of the film Fallen. After nearly losing his life in the field, Thomas Marchese medically retired from the Soledad Police Department as a sergeant in 2016. As a 14-year law enforcement veteran, he spent many years as a homicide detective, as well as a gang narcotic expert and a tactical team leader and instructor. He made the film to educate the public, and it will serve as an educational snapshot of history, but the raw honesty and intimacy of the candid perspective of it will serve as a tribute to all of those who have sacrificed everything so that we may enjoy the safety and freedoms we all take for granted and use every day. Next Tuesday, the 17th, we have Jonathan Jackson from Military Working Dog Team Support Association, and he'll be on to explain what exactly a dog handler does. They're a nonprofit organization that supports military working dog teams by a variety of means. Some of these are care packages, handler recognition, hero dog awards, veteran dog handler cause support, and support for memorials. You know, the cause is great, the organization is little, but it's got some power behind it, and they make an impact daily on the lives of dogs, handlers, and both veterans and active duty. You know, they spend a lot of time educating the general public, and their award-winning newsletter, Kennel Talk, is available for free online. Be sure to go check them out. On October 18th, next Wednesday, we got Brian Groves, Wendell Lay, and Logan Vaughn from Codename Bootstrap. It's a new nonprofit organization that has the goal of helping vets help other vets through actions of compassion, a listening ear, or just being there for a brother or sister in arms. On the 19th, we have Jonathan Kaponger from CBS Radio Connecting Veterans. He's a California native, reports full-time on the Department of Veteran Affairs for ConnectingVets.com. He was a Navy vet, joined in '87, took him as a broadcaster with the American Forces Network, went to Puerto Rico and Italy, and based in Naples, he anchored a weekly TV news magazine for U.S. Naval Forces members across Europe. Now, after leaving military service, he joined the Walt Disney Company and worked as a conservation educator on the team that opened the company's best park, Animal Kingdom, in Orlando, Florida. Moving to the D.C. area, he worked with the trade associations before achieving his lifelong goal of becoming a civil servant in the Department of Veteran Affairs. Now, he served as first as an administrative officer, and then he managed programs in the offices that coordinates continuing education opportunities for VA healthcare providers. Now, he also hosted the department's monthly TV news program, The American Veteran, that also earned him an Emmy Award nomination. Can't wait to hear from you on October 19th. As well as don't forget to check out our wonderful sponsors. We have Project Overwatch. Their current campaign is still the Paw Patrol. You know, I'm going to bring it up every week because it's brilliant. I'm serious. It's brilliant. You get that camera on that canine, situational awareness goes up. You have the ability to issue commands and get them in and out of dangerous situations. You have the ability to generally be a safer unit. You know, and it's a part that a lot of people don't think about is, you know, you have the handler and the dog, and they're a team. And feel free, go to projectoverwatch.org, and I'm about to post in the chat. And feel free, check out what the Paw Patrol campaign is all about. They go into more detail, and if you can donate, feel free to. It would be fantastic if you did. Let me get that posted in the chat real quick. There we go. And also, I'm dying, I want to go, and Ghosty, I'm doing it, you know, we're filling this shit out either this weekend or next weekend. War Horses for Veterans. WarHorsesForVeterans.com is the website you can go, and I'll post that in the chat as well. That way you can check it out and see what you like. This is my dream of a great vacation. Great time. 3 days out in the beautiful countryside, hanging out, having a drink, learning how to ride and how to be around horses, networking with other veterans, having fun, generally sharing stories. You know, no shit, there I was in the Porter shitter. And the coolest part, WTF Nation actually went. You know, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, and I love horses, so yeah.
And the food. I mean, you can't see this belly, but I love my food and Midwest food. Oh God. Oh man. And for a weekend, I mean, Ghosty, for a weekend, we get food. We're gonna get drinks. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna ride horses. Hopefully they're not gonna bite me like every fucking horse has. You know. And we get to tell no shit, there I was, staring the green weenie in the eye story. But yeah, definitely go check them out. Apply for a visit. It's all I believe it's all expenses paid. I'm verifying that now, but I believe it's all expenses paid. But it's a fantastic organization. Also, they have a 5K going on November 12th. I'm going to link that as well. That will help raise money for their organization. So if you are able to help in any way with War Horses for Veterans or Project Overwatch, please give them a look and check them out. That is straight from their website. Other than that, do you have any final thoughts or words for the crew here, Ghosty?
No, I'm really looking forward to those coming up. They're going to be great shows, so I'm kind of chomping at the bit for them to show up so we can do it. It's gonna be good.
I really want to listen to Jonathan Kaponger from CBS Radio. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
But other than that, make sure make sure you drink water. Make sure you take a knee, change your socks. Am I missing anything medically important? Oh, and if you're sick in the barracks, it's always AIDS. You got any last words from Ghosty?
No. Nope.
All right. Well then, from me to you at Jose's Taco Truck, we're going to turn the fryers off, and we're going to roll on out of here with our fresh mod deuces on top, and we're going to GTFO. Thank y'all for listening. Have a great day, folks. See y'all tonight at Sergeant's Time.
WTF Nation Radio.
Stated proven, mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be in you.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.